Have you ever been interested in the sport of curling? If so, then join us to get swept away in everything curling has to offer. This is Chess on Ice. Hello everyone, my name is Fia Shelton and welcome to Chess on Ice, the show where we'll be exploring the sport of curling around the greater Milwaukee area. Curling has been around for hundreds of years and is more popular than ever in southeastern Wisconsin. Similar to chess, the sport of curling involves a great amount of not only skill, but strategy as well. To help us get a better understanding of how the sport is played, let's send it over to our curling expert, Max Martinson.
Thanks, Fia. Some of you may have seen curling in the Olympics when it became an official Olympic sport in 1998, but most people aren't familiar with the rules, so here's how it works. The basics of curling involve two teams of 4 players sliding 8 40-pound granite stones across a sheet of ice with a target, otherwise known as the house, on each end. The game's objective is to try to get more of your team's stones closer to the center of the house than your opponent. The skip, otherwise known as the captain of the team, has the important job of planning the team's strategy. There are 3 main components that make up the strategy when throwing a stone, which is known as the delivery. But before that, the first step is to determine which type of shot you want to throw. There are 3 primary shot types: guards, draws, and takeouts. A guard is a shot that is thrown in front of the house to protect other stones that are in the house, or just to make the other team's shot harder. A draw is a shot that is thrown specifically to reach inside of the house, and finally a takeout is a shot that by name is meant to knock other stones out of play. Once you've determined what type of shot you want to throw, the next step is deciding the best way to get the stone where you want it. The first of the 3 components that I mentioned earlier is how hard you throw the stone. The second is how much turn you put on the stone. The more you rotate the stone as you throw it, the more the stone will curl, which is what gives the sport its name. And finally, one of the most important parts of the game, sweeping. Sweeping is done for 2 reasons. The first is to help the stone travel further. When you sweep the ice, a very thin layer of water is created on top. This allows the stone to travel further because the friction between the stone and the water is less than between the stone and the ice. The second reason for sweeping is to reduce the amount of curl the stone has. To put it all simply, the more you sweep in front of the stone, the further and straighter it will travel. After both teams throw all 8 of their stones, points will be given to whichever team has the closest stone to the center of the house. Only one team can score per end, and you can think of an end like an inning in baseball. 1 point will be given for every stone that is closer to the center of the house than your opponent's closest stone. And that's how it works. Back to you, Fia.
Thanks for that, Max. Curling in the Milwaukee area is bigger than you might think, and right in Milwaukee's backyard is the Wauwatosa Curling Club. Founded in 1921, the club has been a beloved community within the city of Wauwatosa for over 100 years. The club is located directly in the heart of the city, and in a typical year will have nearly 400 members. But what makes the Wauwatosa Curling Club so special? To answer that, we sat down with club president Rachel Cable to give us her perspective.
In order to be president of the club, you have to be on the board of our club, the board of directors, for a number of years. Typically, one of those 3 members in their 3rd year becomes the club president. I was willing to do the work, which is why I'm the club president. I became president at our spring banquet last year, and I will hand that over to our vice president at the end of our season this year. Since I've been club president, we've undertaken significant fundraising for historic renovation of our club. We're going to have brand new ice floor, new roof, new dehumidification system, and the space that we're in right now is going to be our primary club space. The cool thing about curling is there is the sport of curling, which is interesting and challenging, but beyond that is the social aspect of curling, where after you play a game, you sit down at a table with the team that you played against and you get to know them. And we really do get to know each other, and it's really rewarding. So I actually curled for Marquette's curling club when I was a student there back in the 90s, and that was actually here in this building. After I graduated, I stopped curling, but then my husband and I, we ended up coming down here for a try curling after 2014, and we've been here ever since. One time I did play in a playdown, so my women's team did take second place in a state playdown competition. It's a play-off, essentially, in order to qualify for club nationals. The most difficult thing about curling is consistency. The ice can be different even during the same game. It might start out slow and then get faster. Just always making sure that you're coming out with the right weight, or that you hit the broom, which is that you're hitting the target that your skip is putting for you. You really develop a social network here. I have made lifelong friends in this place. I look forward to coming down here. I think if you join a bowling league or a softball league, you join with friends you have, and then when you stop doing that, you leave with the same friends that you had. And I can't imagine my life now without dozens and dozens of the people that I've come to become very good friends with at this club.
Rachel brings such a fantastic energy to the club. Wouldn't you say, Max?
Yeah, I most certainly would, and she's the same way when she's out on the ice as well.
Now, while the Wauwatosa Curling Club does have a fun and friendly community, just like other sports, some players enjoy competition, and one of the events that the club hosts every year is their annual Men's Invitational Bonspiel. The event features 3 action-packed days filled with some of the best curlers, not only in Wisconsin, but all over the world. Now, you may be asking the question, what is a Bonspiel? Can you walk us through that as well, Max?
Yeah, I would love to. A bonspiel is a word that has the literal meaning of a curling tournament, but bonspiels aren't the same as your typical March Madness style of bracket. Every team in the event will start here in the center. This is known as the first event. If you continue to win matches, you'll remain in the first event. But you may be asking, what happens if you lose? If a team loses their match, they'll be placed in a different event, which is the second, third, and fourth events. Once teams are placed in their respective events, the single elimination style of bracket that most people are familiar with will begin. To put it simply, the winners of the first event are considered to be the winners of the tournament. And now that you know how a bonspiel works, let's get into the action. Our sideline reporter Victor Lowe is on the ice awaiting the start of the first day of competition.
Thank you, Max. As competitors prepare for the first day here at the Wauwatosa Curling Club 82nd Annual Men Invitation Bonspiel, the anticipation and the excitement are just on the rise. Not only just for players, but spectators as well. As 32 teams from all over the United States make their way onto the ice, all eyes are just looking towards for 3 days of fun-filling curling action. To get the tournament started, let's send it over to Mike Ganger with the call.
Thank you very much, Victor. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Wauwatosa Curling Club for the 82nd Annual Men's Invitational Bonspiel. My name is Mike Ganger. I'll be calling the action for this year's tournament. We've got 3 fantastic days of curling action lined up, and it all starts right now with Team Muller versus Team Netzger. All right, Team Muller looking to clear out the center of the house here. Gonna need to keep that stone right on the center line. That appears to be looking good. Gets it through the gap, and they get one, plus the rollover. What a beautiful shot there from Peter Muller. John Netzger now looking to place his stone right in the center of the house. Gonna need to stay right on that center line. That one looks to be drifting to the right. And it'll just clip the edge of the guard out in front. Team Muller will retake the lead. Team Muller is really in need of a good shot here to try to limit the damage. Here's the delivery. That one is drifting to the right, and a bad end is going to get even worse here for Team Muller. Huge opportunity for Netzger. Should be a fairly simple shot here. That one's a little slow on the release. John Netzger is actually going to come up here and help sweep it. Shot is looking good, though. And they will put it in the house, and that is going to be enough to complete a massive 4-point end here in the fourth. Team Netzger here, representing the USA's national deaf curling team, trying to extend their lead. That one is looking good down the center. But they're not going to get the rollover they were hoping for. Team Muller needs something here if they're going to mount this comeback. Shot is looking good. Curling right around the guards out in front, and they'll drop it right into the center of the house and get 2 points in the end. Muller with a chance to close the game out for his team. All they need to do is hit either of the two stones. Looking good. And yeah, that'll do. Team Muller connects and completes the comeback after going down 3 points early. What a fantastic game for both teams. But in the end, it's Team Muller advancing in the first event.
What a fantastic first day of curling. Team Netzger really is an inspiration.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really awesome with them being deaf to see how they're able to communicate out there on the ice in a sport that relies on it so heavily.
For sure, and now that we've seen what the competition looks like, let's shift our focus to another part of the Bonspiel. While the event is centered around curling, there's also a big emphasis on the social aspect of the weekend. As we mentioned earlier, curlers come from all over the United States and even the world in some cases, and keeping everyone well fed can be a challenge. We spoke with head chef Matthew Majeski to see what happens behind the scenes to host a successful Bonspiel.
My name is Matt Majeski. I'm the curler here. I've been curling since 2010 and help out wherever I can, either working on the ice or in the kitchen or wherever may be. Me and a couple of friends back in about 2010 during the Olympics were sitting in a bar watching it, and we're like, that looks really cool, we should try it. And one of my friends said, well, my stepdad, he curls out of Milwaukee. So we signed up for a Learn to Curl, went there and learned. We found Wauwatosa was a little bit closer to us, so the next winter we signed up and started curling here. When you have a Bonspiel, when you're bringing all your other friends from other clubs to come and see each other once again and play the game of curling, those traditions come with it. So the food, the drink, and the social aspect is all synonymous. Way back when they played on the river in the cold nights, they would go to the warming shed, you know, in between games, just not only to warm up and bite in some beverage, but just to talk with their opponents. And we keep those traditions today. After a game, you know, we go downstairs and what we call broom stack, which is we just sit down, talk about the game, talk about how we failed and how we won, and just talk about how the day went. The size of our club for a Bonspiel, we're a 4-sheet club, which means for having a standard Friday to Sunday Bonspiel, we can do 32 teams within the time frame. So for 4 people to the team, you know, we're talking about 128 some people. Then sometimes they bring friends and family with them. So we kind of plan, depending on the meal, but we plan for about 150. This year we kind of changed it up and did brisket and pork. So yeah, it's you just want a big hearty meal because it's a whole weekend of playing curling and then also drinking and just camaraderie. So you got to keep the stomach full.
That food looks incredible. Matthew really puts his all into cooking for the club.
Yeah, he certainly does. And speaking of the club, day 2 of the club's Bonspiel is getting underway. So with that, let's send it back to Victor Lowe, who's down on the ice. Victor?
Thank you, Max. Welcome back inside of the Wauwatosa Curling Club for Day 2 of the 82nd Annual Men Invitation Bonspiel. Day 1 featuring a great display of curling. As we begin Day 2, teams are beginning to settle in with the respective events with the attentions to be drawn of the first event in the Nell Trophy. As the teams begin to make their way onto the ice, let's send it back to Mike Ganger with the call.
Thanks, Victor. Mike Ganger back here with you for Day 2 of the Wauwatosa Curling Club's 82nd Annual Men's Invitational Bonspiel. And right now, we'll take you down to Sheet 4, where Team Freund is going to be taking on Team Lauren. Team Lauren trying to capitalize here, coming off their big first end. Working down the center ice nicely here, trying to put it in the middle of the house. And it will drop nicely into the center, but that will give Neil a great chance with the hammer. It is a crucial moment here for Team Freund, already being down by 3. And they will get the takeout. That'll tie it up at 3. A chance to make this a massive end. Gotta try to find the angle for the takeout. Shot is looking good down the center. And they will connect for the takeout. That is a huge 5-point end for Team Lauren. All right, Team Freund went down by 5 early on in the game and have almost completed the comeback. They're going to need something special here. 1 to tie, 2 to win. And here is the delivery from the skip. Is straight away down the center line. Gets the takeout on 1 and 2, but it's going to roll too far away from center of the house, and Team Lauren is narrowly going to escape by the skin of their teeth. That had a chance to be an immaculate shot, but it just drifted away from the middle of the house. And again, Team Lauren will be advancing on to the semifinals to face Team Carlson in the first event.
This year's competition is really starting to heat up. Speaking of heating up, Max went to put on some warmer clothes and get down to the club for the third day of competition. But before the finals get started, we want to showcase a special ceremony that features everyone who made it to the finals. At most bonspiels around the world, including the Olympics, a bagpiper will play a ceremonial song that pays homage to everyone in the finals and the Scottish roots of the sport. As the bonspiel at the Wauwatosa Curling Club is coming to an end, let's listen in to the ceremony.
What a fantastic ceremony from the bagpiper here for the final day of competition. at the Wauwatosa Curling Club 82nd Annual Men's Invitational Bonspiel. My name is Mike Ganger, and our focus today is going to be on the first event finals, where we have Team Schultz in red taking on Team Carlson in yellow. Let's take a look at the lineups for today's match. For Team Schultz of the Portage Curling Club, it's going to be John Schultz leading the way as skip. At vice skip is going to be David Vorpal, and second is Seth Nielsen, and at lead today is Andy Murphy. On the other side for Team Carlson, two-time Bonspiel winner and champion from last year, Ryan Carlson is the skip. At vice for Team Carlson is going to be Joe Mattel. Aaron Morrill will have the duties as the second today, and Oscar Cable will have the role of lead. Team Carlson lining this one up. Team Schultz is going to steal a point here early in the game unless we see some magic from Ryan Carlson. He is one of the best when it comes to situations like these. It's looking good. What a magnificent shot there from Ryan Carlson. Team Carlson's going to be looking to do the same thing their opponents just did. That one too is looking good. Oh, but it's going to clip their own stone, but that is going to work out very fortunately in their favor. Team Schultz looking to steal a point here in the sixth end. And they will get the takeout on their own stone, sending it directly into the center of the house. What a shot! Can Ryan dial something up here? That one has a ton of weight on it. It is gonna fly into the house, and they'll make good contact to get the takeout to secure the point for the round. It all comes down to this, what could be the winning shot from Team Carlson. And gets one, the takeout, and he'll get the rollover as well. What an amazing shot from Ryan Carlson. That might be enough to win it. 3 days of curling comes down to this moment for John Schultz. We saw a fantastic shot just moments ago from Team Carlson, but will they be able to one-up them? They're going to need something very special here. Drifting just off to the right, and the angle won't quite be there. Team Carlson is your 2024 Wauwatosa Curling Club Men's Invitational Bonspiel champions. What a fantastic game from both sides. Easily the most entertaining match from the weekend. Some absolutely amazing curling from both sides, but Team Carlson is able to get over the hill and will win back-to-back invitational Bonspiels. Let's take another look at that final shot from Team Carlson again. It was well dialed up and just had so much force as it came down the ice. They were able to get the takeout on their own stone, which then rolled over for the takeout on that closest red stone, and also were able to tap Team Schultz's other stone to stay near the center. Just an absolutely fantastic shot there from Ryan Carlson. Speaking of Ryan, let's send it down to ice where Max Martinson is standing by with our winning skip.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on a great tournament win, first event trophy winners. That was a fantastic final performance. Do you want to walk us through the strategy of your guys' last shot? Because that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I thank you very much for the congratulations. In the end, we were up to coming home without Hammer. And obviously, the goal is to win it in that last shot, but obviously giving up 3 would be a poor result on our part. The hit, the run back hit, and the roll over to guard it up ended up working out how we called it. And we're thankful that we had a good game. Our opponents threw a really good game, and it was a lot of back and forth the whole time.
It was really back and forth. We were watching the whole time. Congratulations again, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
And there you have it. A fantastic weekend of curling action has come to an end. Congratulations to Team Carlson on their first event victory, but also to everyone who competed in the event. We hope that you've been inspired to learn more about the sport and maybe even give curling a try for yourself. Thank you everyone for watching. For myself, Max, Victor, and Mike, good curling and have a good day.